Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I say ladies first, and then there's a few gentlemen that are here. A thank you to the gentlemen and for those that are accompanying our graduates today to this event. It is a prestigious event in the sense that we've now reached the culmination of the program, in the sense that this is the part of the formal stuff. But the journey actually now really starts with you, what you've learned and what you need to put into practice. So I think that's the important part which I want to start off with for this morning. But nevertheless, just to take us back to some of our thoughts when we started off this program, or rather started thinking of this program and we engaged with Usha, was we wanted something different. We didn't want the same old that everybody else is doing. We wanted something with a difference. We wanted something that will also have an impact. And so far from the impact that I'm seeing and the reviews that I'm getting in terms of the evaluations, we've been receiving excellent evaluations of the program throughout the 6-part series. So thank you to the facilitator, Usha Maharaj, firstly for taking us through this journey, for being there with us, for bearing with us. We've made a number of changes. Usha was at times a bit frustrated with me because I had different ideas from her, and she says, no, it has to be done this way, and I said, no, it has to be done that way, and we kind of met in the middle, and eventually she got away. So, but nevertheless, I think the important part is the positivity that was being portrayed when we engaged, when we spoke, and the changes in your personal life. And when I talk about the personal life, I'm talking about your character, how it should shape and change your thinking process. And I think you'd agree with me that this program has taken you through an evolution of your thought processing, the way that you're making the decisions, the way that you're thinking about situations a lot more differently, and I'm sure you will agree with me on that one from a leadership perspective. So I think that was the important aim and objective, is the changing of the mindset, somewhat to a certain degree, a paradigm shift in thinking. Albert Einstein said, and I'm not one who quotes a lot, if you do the same thing over and over, you can't expect a different result. And I'm hoping through this program that it has changed you personally as an individual in your own personal life, as well as in your work and professional life and the relationships that you have around you from a work process. So I think with that, just start off, and Taruna has got me on a very tight schedule. She says here in bold, 2 minutes only. So okay, we'll try and do the 2 minutes only, but nevertheless, she knows I take 5 minutes, so she's given a little bit of time. Just to also thank BDO for their sponsorship, Bernice Pillay. Thank you to BDO for their sponsorship of the program as well, to Usha, to our fantastic coordinator, and Taruna, and I'm sure she deserves, or rather has earned, a hearty round of applause and her thanks and appreciation. Taruna has actually been the driving force behind this program. She has attended every one of the sessions, and she's learnt a lot in this program, and I can see the changes that have been coming through. Taruna, from a subordinate point of view, I can see the changes. So most definitely I can attest to that firsthand. So one of the things that was also shared, and when I always opened up and I talked about social media and your social media presence, Usha spoke about LinkedIn and all of these other ones. Use that as a profiling tool. She has mentioned it. She has mentioned she has gone through this. It is an important part of personal branding. Utilize it. Use it to your best advantage within your organization, outside your organization. You never know what the next step is going to be. So use these tools, what you have, as an advantage to yourself. So in that regard, what I would be expecting today is that there will be some selfies that will be taken. There will be some posting that's going to happen. So please do feel free to do that. Don't feel shy that somebody's going to say, oh, why are you taking a photo and all of these things. This really doesn't matter. This is all about you. It's all about the individual today. So with that said and done, the last part, what I wanted to rather make a request of you, of the graduates today, is that what I'd like to do is engage with you on your journey. So as we mentioned, you've been given the tips and tools and tricks, what you need to do in your professional lives. But I think it'll be nice for us from an external point of view. You have your leadership circle already going, you've got the book club happening, and that's all great stuff. But from a SAICA perspective, we've shown special interest in this program, and what I'd like to do is to engage with you ongoing for the rest of the year, in the sense that I'd like to come and meet with you one-on-one at your premises, at your work premises. So just a half an hour of your time. So if you do get that email from me, please don't ignore it and think, oh no, it's another SAICA email. So just half an hour of your time, I'd like to come and engage with you, get your thoughts, get your personal thoughts on the profession, get your thoughts about work life, etc. So please do look out for that email, and we look forward to engaging with you. When I mentioned the special interest, what I've also got in mind is, at least on a yearly basis, if we can sort of touch base with you, look at how your journey is progressing. And with the view, what I'd like to do is also start profiling our members as well that have been on this program. So be it through accountancy essay on the website, etc. I'd like to do that. So with your permission, of course, we'd like to do these sort of things. So there's a little bit more in it than this meets the eye in terms of the program, what you signed up to be, what you thought it was going to be, what it has evolved so far, and how it's going to evolve further. So we will be keeping in close touch. So nevertheless, having used up my 2.5 minutes, Taruna, I'd now like to hand over to Usha for her opening speech, and then we shall move on to the handing of the certificates. So, Usha, thank you.
Thank you, Naeem. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to my LEMS graduates. I just cannot wait for you to stand up here and collect your certificates and close off on your journey, a journey that's just been spectacular to watch and to be a part of. And good morning to all of you, the husbands and the boyfriends and the moms and the colleagues and the managers and the friends. To share in a journey like this for you is really special, because you would have interacted with our graduates. You know them from a space that we have never seen before. And to be invited in the room today means that you're very special to the person that's invited you. So I'm really glad to have you here to share the morning with the ladies. For everyone here, the ladies who've been on the journey, and then more importantly for all of you, I just want to go through a quick roundup of what the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series has been all about. And almost in 2 minutes, I'll take you through the entire journey, and you'll think, oh my gosh, how did we fit all of this into 5 sessions? And we actually have, and it's been a phenomenal 5 sessions. So the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series, in my opinion, should really be renamed to the Gladiator Awakening, because what we've seen through the journey was 20 women walk into the room who really didn't know what their inner spirit was, who really didn't know how fierce and ferocious they were, and who didn't realize just how fabulous they've been living their lives and how much they've achieved in their careers. And through the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series, the first thing we start off with is what's going on inside of your mind. How do you unlock a level of self-belief in yourself that's going to help you to drive your career, that's going to help you to live a fulfilling life? And how do we step out of the zone of of living everybody else's lives? How do we stop doing what society expects of us? And how do we start delivering to our own goals? How do we start living to our own values? How do we know who we truly are and start chasing our own personal dreams? And it's only when you've understood yourself fully and you started chasing the dreams that you truly believe are important to you, that you start living a life that's really fulfilled, and that the gladiator on the inside starts to wake up. So the first part of the series was really a self-awareness exercise, and we started off through Contribution Compass, a proud sponsor of the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series. The Contribution Compass is a profiling tool that really clears up all of the what-ifs and the whys, and helps you to answer questions about why do you react in a certain way, what are your true strengths, why is it that you are great at certain tasks and aspects and other people are great at other aspects and tasks? And how do you start chasing and living to your full strengths and not chasing and trying to deliver on somebody else's strengths? So you start living your life your way. And it starts with just an inner awareness. And the Contribution Compass formed a strong foundation of that. Then we moved on to goal setting. And goal setting exercise truly was something that unfolded for everybody different aspects. And while we think we're chasing certain goals in our lives, when you go through a process that helps you to really understand who you are, you realize that your goals are very different to what you thought they were. And you realize that the conflict that happens when you're chasing someone else's goals compared to the flow that you're in when you're chasing your own goals are two different spaces. And you're in a lot happier place when you understand who you are and you start chasing your goals your way. And that was an exercise that brought around profound results as well for the ladies. Together with that, we did a values determination exercise to understand what you value the most and stop chasing what other people value. So it's really just in-depth understanding of yourself, and that formed the foundation of the entire program. Through the program, we also shared tools and tips and frameworks for handling tough conversations and dealing with conflict and delegating more effectively. And those are the barriers to success that usually keep us down and stop us from moving forward into the next levels in our careers. So we addressed all of those, handed over some frameworks and said practice, practice, practice. These are the things that's going to help shift you into the next space. Branding and marketing yourself is something that Naeem alluded to, but branding and marketing yourself is critical. But you can only brand and market yourself when you realize just how truly valuable your brand is. And through an exercise that we've done, all of the ladies went from having 0 summaries on their LinkedIn profiles to fabulous, elaborate summaries, but fabulous, elaborate realizations of what they've achieved in their careers, and a new way of looking at themselves. Just proudly, and being able to now promote themselves into opportunities that come their way and not feeling shy or averting away from them. So it was an eye-opening exercise that everybody loved, and I think the results were phenomenal. So if you go away and you search for any of these names, just Google them, you'll find brilliant LinkedIn summaries, and you'll see the quality of the ladies that have come through the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series. Next, we covered networking, and networking is one of those topics that all of us shy away from, or most of us shy away from. And when you don't have a framework within which to network, and if you don't take away the barriers that we normally put around networking and the fears that we have around networking, it's really difficult to do it. But given frameworks and tools and tips and strategies, and then being allowed to practice it, I think that we've got a newfound love of networking. In fact, at the start of the series, the ladies would walk into the room and just sit down and be ready to get started. After we did the networking session, I'd walk in the room and I'd have to stop them from talking. I'd have to stop them from engaging with each other, because the conversation became so much richer and so much more robust, and the walls came down. So if we looked at all of you standing out there, and I walked around and I said, oh, it's so quiet in here. That's exactly how we started off the program. It's so quiet in here. And now when we get into the room and all of these graduates are there, it's never quiet, because everyone's engaging with everybody else. So those networking strategies that they've learned, I will urge you to tell them to teach it to you as well, because it becomes a lot more fun connecting and building relationships. And then we ended off our last session most fabulously. And when we say it's a gladiator awakening, I really mean it's a gladiator awakening. And at the last session, we did body language tips and tools, but body language tricks that inspire confidence. And the ladies, when we talk Wonder Woman, it's code language between us, and we know exactly what we're talking about. But when you Wonder Woman yourself into any space, you do it with, I'll pause. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
When you Wonder Woman yourself into any situation, you enter that situation with absolute confidence. You enter that situation knowing that you own it. And shortly, we're going to see Wonder Woman inspired conversations from our ladies here and our graduates, and I absolutely can't wait for it. So on that note, that's a sum up of the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series. Today is a really proud moment for all of our graduates in the room, for you watching them and looking over them, and for me as the facilitator to this program, an absolutely awe-inspiring moment. And it's just been a fabulous journey with all of you. On that note, I'm going to hand back to Naeem so that we can welcome each of you up to accept your certificates.
So here's the fun part of the program now. Everybody ready? Oh, well, okay, I can see some eyebrows lifting like, no, what you going to tell us next? Okay, but anyway, it's all stuff that you already know. Taruna's already prepped you. So you know this part. So we're moving on to the handing out of the certificates. I've been reliably informed by Taruna that she has informed you that before we hand out your certificate, your last act of bravery and gladiatorship would be your 2 minutes speech about the program. So as I call the names out, we'd like you to come forward, your 2 minutes of fame for us within the room, which will be put on YouTube, Facebook. It's like that saying, it's like that one. You know what they say? Whatever happens in Vegas stays on Facebook. Yeah. So so that's how the program's going to work for today. We will go through one by one, and then we will hand out the certificates to the individual. And please smile for the camera and for Adam and the videographer as well. So let's kick it off. First lucky person today, in order of surname, Carmen Christopher. Carmen Christopher is not here, so she's the lucky one. Okay, now I'm lying. So the lucky ones are here today. So we'll move on to the next one, Natalie Conde. Natalie, can we call you forward?
Morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Natalie, and I'm a proud participant in this LEMS program. One of the first things I learned on this course was always to say true to yourself. So in true Natalie fashion, I'm going to keep this short and to the point. We've all heard inspiring thoughts and life lessons such as only you can make a change. No one can change for you. Either you run the day or the day runs you. You own your own destiny. Gee whiz. For me, these sayings should be inspiring to set you out and be the best that you can be. For me, they've kind of been mere words on a page and haven't had the desired impact I would expect. But until I came to LEMS. Thanks to Usha, who has brought these words to life, and truly helped me realize that I'm in control of my everyday thoughts, decisions, and actions. I know my values, I set my goals, and I choose how to spend my time. It is only I who can choose to equip myself with the necessary skills to live the life that I dream of. LEMS has handed me the pen to be the author of my life and the reader of my mind. With this increased self-awareness and confidence, I now am truly inspired to stand strong, pick up my sword, and be the Wonder Woman of my destiny. Thank you. Who do I give this to?
Shall we go, that's it? I feel like the third wheel, by the way. Congratulations, well done, well done, well done. Really excellent, Julia. Well done.
Can she have you in the center? I've got confused.
Okay. She needs to be in the center.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
3, 2, 1.
I'll make it sound another round of that.
Excellent. Okay. Well done, Natalie. I know that you did have a bit of the nerves, but it's fine. I mean, that's how it started off. And if I can share a journey of self-confidence with you. I couldn't even say my name when I was in school. I had such a severe stutter. Would you believe me? I couldn't even say my name. My speeches in school, normally you could recall, you had to write that 1.5 pager and give your speech, and you were given 5 or 8 minutes or something like that. So my time of 8 to 10 minutes passed with saying 3 sentences, my speech. And that's how things have changed, the journey of evolution. This evolution masterclass will tap into those fears that you have, and you overcome those fears. If you had to ask me when I joined SAICA, did I actually sign up to stand in front of anybody and speak, let alone 300 to 500 people? I would say, hell no, that's not going to happen. But it was a leap of faith, and well, actually it wasn't a leap of faith, it was I just didn't know. I just got here and they said, okay, you got to do it. I'm like, okay, God, now what do I do? But nevertheless, I think these are just certain things that, that you pick up along the way. The next person I'd like to invite, who's not here though, but I'd rather mention a name, Royanne Doyle. She's not here today to collect her, her certificate, and we will catch up with her later. The next person I'd like to call is Reshma Durban. Reshma, can we call you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Reshma Durban, as Naeem has mentioned, and I'm grateful to Usha, SAICA, and the other sponsors for this opportunity of a wonderful journey with a fantastic group of women, sharing similar values and aspirations, supporting and encouraging each other to better heights. These shared experiences, validation, and enthusiasm should never be underestimated, especially when it's underpinned by great facilitation, learning, tools, and techniques. I found most invaluable in this course is something that Usha mentioned, the Contribution Compass Profile, which not only helps you with self-awareness, but also understanding others. And most of all, it helps you build useful relationships and successful teams. That is something we are all aspiring to do. In terms of the takeaways, as mentioned previously as well, there's a toolkit of things that we take with us that makes it practical and very, very useful. Whether it's being that tiny part of the brain, the medulla that you remember when the temperature is rising, or is it the conflict management roadmap, something we all dread to deal with but need to on a daily basis, or not forgetting the Wonder Woman, or is it Pretty Woman pose, when you need that little extra dose of inspiration. Yes, it did take a bit of hard work, commitment, and much soul searching, but it really was worth it. I'm looking forward to putting into practice these meaningful lessons on my personal journey of excellence and team success. If I have to take one word to describe this course, I'd say it was energizing. Thank you, ladies, for your warmth, energy, and sharing, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors going forward. Thanks.
Okay, remember she comes in the center.
Yes, I need to be a hug.
Okay.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Reshma.
Thanks,
Well
Nan.
done.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Reshma, for your 2 minutes. That was really excellent. I'd now like to call upon Aziza.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending. I think it's been such a beautiful event or couple of months. Spending the time with these wonderful ladies have truly been inspirational. And I think a big thank you goes to Usha, to Runa and Naeem. It's a remarkable workshop, and I hope that we can continue this going forward. The Leadership Evolution Masterclass has been a journey that flowed with amazing richness, relevance, and professionalism. It had impacted us in every way possible, both professionally and personally. It had made tangible impact into my life, my family's life, as well as my co-workers' lives. So I just want to thank everybody for being part of that journey. One of the biggest insights for me was being able to understand myself. I think we all go around living our lives not truly understanding who we are. And for me, the contribution compass is like aha moment, as Oprah says. I had a truly aha moment. It's like, what were my strengths? What were my weaknesses? And how best to go forward in any situation. Not only understanding myself, but those around me. Just to let you in on a little secret, it really helps knowing this when you have a difficult conversation with your husband. You know what to say, when to say, sorry, love. So, I mean, it really was remarkable. Another sort of, a great sort of session for me was the goal-making session. Being able to pen down what you actually require, how to get there, and your path to get there. The goal-making sort of tool will constantly be something I take with me. I'd love looking forward, and I think it's also so important to always look back at your achievements, and that for me has been something that I know I'd take forward and also teach my peers at work as well as my family. Thank you so much for that. And my one word that I would like to say, my inspiration, is, I think that was my cue for my one word, is resilience. The ability to move forward, learn, be rich, and have confidence in what you're doing. And always be that superwoman. Thank you.
Should I say congratulations? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, Aziza, for your inspirational speech. The one word that you spoke about, resilience, and I always say this at all of our events. Chartered accountants are probably one of the worst at celebrating their own successes. We get knocked down, pick ourselves up, it's in our DNA, dust ourselves off, and carry on moving. And I think we need to take this time to celebrate our successes, be the successes be small or big, or whatever size it is. We need to take that time to celebrate. And that, Usha will also tell you, part of the personal branding process as well. But nevertheless, just to move on, Ashley Foxon. Ashley is not here as well, and we will pass on her certificate. I'd now like to call upon Shazia Hussain. Shazia.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you told me 6 months ago that I would be up here in front of people doing a speech, it would be incredibly scary for me. As somebody who is very into numbers, it was difficult to actually come out and speak to people. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Usha for giving me the tools to be able to actually expand on my personality and to be able to stand up here today. A huge thank you to Usha Maharaj, SAICA, and the sponsors for putting together such an amazing program and for putting together all these amazing ladies from which I have learned a lot. Usha has given us the tools that allow us to command a great aspect of our personal and professional lives. For me, the greatest lesson that I have learned was that growth and comfort do not coexist. For me to be a better person, I had to step out of my comfort zone. And I will continue to use the tools that have been provided to me in the future. Just a little insight, for me, I am now transitioning into a new role. It's something that I really wanted. And it has only come about because I have done what I needed to in terms of goal setting. And again, something that I would never have been able to do if it hadn't been for Usha's help and the program. So a huge thank you, lastly, to the ladies for always sharing and being a much needed shoulder. Thank you. One word. My one word is growth, and I have grown in leaps and bounds thanks to the program.
Well done, Shazia. Thank you for that. I'd now like to call upon Fermina Ismail to undertake her speech.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fermina. So when the email went out advertising this program, the first thing that came to what attracted me to the program was the word masterclass. So I don't know if any of you watched the Master Chef series and Gordon Ramsay. So if I think back and I think about when he has those masterclass series with them, they teach you about the simple things and the simple and basic things in cooking that's going to take their cooking skills to the next level. And that's exactly what LEMS has done for me. In the past 5 months, we were given tools that were simple and practical and easy to implement, and that will help us to take us to the next level in our career. I have loved Usha's golden nuggets. I've written down every one that you've given us, and I've termed them my practical career hacks. During the past 5 sessions, I've come out more energized and motivated than I felt in a long time. I got the opportunity to interact with women from different professional and cultural backgrounds. I got a chance to listen to their stories, their advice, their experiences, and I got a chance to share mine as well. One of the most important things that LEMS has taught me was that it's so important to celebrate our success that Naeem has mentioned and to reflect on our achievements. I had never really focused on reflection before, but the homework after every session really forced this for me, and I'm really thankful for it as well. Reflection is so vital for growth, and I've learned that reflecting has helped us to develop your skills and review their effectiveness, rather than just carrying on doing things that we used to do. One of the greatest things that I've learned as well is looking deeply at yourself and others and stop focusing on our weaknesses, but rather focusing on our strengths and rather fortifying them. The art of conversation in 7 steps is something that has really stuck out to me. Now I can hear Usha's voice in my head. Share the hooks, listen to the hooks. Exiting a conversation, I don't know, hey, gracefully. I'm still learning about that. With Usha exposing us to her small library of books, the love of reading has ignited, and the LEMS books love was formed. And I just completed my first book after such a long time, and I loved reading, leaning in. And I have so many insights that I've gained from that. I can't wait to start the next book. I would like to share a quote from Sheryl Sandberg that just touched home for me. Being confident and believing in your own self-worth is necessary for achieving your potential. For me, this is the key to everything. Knowing yourself and what you stand for, your values, your goals, implementing the tools that LEMS has given us will absolutely guarantee career progression. In the words of Sheryl Sandberg, we cannot change what we are not aware of, and once we are aware, we cannot change. Look out the world, Fermina is coming. The one word that I would describe with this program is self-awareness. Thank you very much, everyone.
Congratulations, Fermina.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Fermina. I'd now like to move on to the next recipient, Salma Isup Karwa. Salma, can we call you forward?
Good morning, all. Firstly, I'd like to thank Usha for all her golden nuggets, as Fermina put it so aptly, and to SAICA for having this program. It has really been inspiring for me, and helped me in many ways, both personally and professionally. So thank you. LEMS has been a significant and overdue journey of introspection for me. It's given me insight into myself and into others. The contribution compass was one of the most significant tools that I've learned to use on this program. I've learned to understand my strengths and how to interact with others. We have this perception that you need to work on your weaknesses, but in reality, if you play to your strengths, that's when you unleash your potential. I now understand the importance of building a meaningful business profile and being able to articulate my strengths, as well as acknowledging what we have achieved, because very often we don't acknowledge what we've achieved, and it can be a huge motivating factor when you do. And over time, you tend to forget the importance of goal setting. We all set it when we on that road to becoming chartered accountants, but as you go along, you tend to forget the importance of it and the role that it plays in achieving your dreams. So I will definitely be using the goal setting document always. Knowing oneself is the key to both personal and professional relationships. Understanding others unlocks the potential in those relationships. It is always important to stay true to your values, because if you stay true to your values, then you'll always feel happy and fulfilled, and that's when you will unleash your potential. It was lovely to meet such wonderful, like-minded ladies and to have such interesting conversations with them. LEMS is just the beginning of my leadership journey, and I intend to put into practice all that I have learned. Thank you. My one word. Thank you. The one word that I would use to describe this program is inspiring.
Well done, Salva. Salam Kejo. Okay, thank you, Salma. I'd now like to call upon Lauren Shoba. Lauren.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren. LEMS for me has been an opportunity for rediscovery, growth, and connection. Rediscovery took place through detailed analysis of our personalities and those of others in the contribution compass exercise. It highlighted strengths as well as areas for growth and made me more aware of who I am and what contribution I bring to the table of life. The goal and value exercises clarified what my values were and helped me closely align those to my goals. Growth took place in each and every session, especially through the homework of each session, where a deep sense of introspection took place in order to complete the homework and then to share that homework with your partner. Connection took place in so many forms, through the monthly discussions we shared, the sharing on our WhatsApp group, the forced networking we had to do, which resulted in friendships forming, as well as our activity on LinkedIn. We have managed to attain a deep sense of connect with one another. LEMS has been a safe and energizing platform to grow as women in leadership, and I will miss our sessions together. A big thank you to Usha and her sponsors for the opportunity to take part in such a transformative course. Thank you. My one word for the LEMS course is transformative. Thank you.
Well done, Lauren.
Lauren was married in the middle of the program, so I think we should give her an extra round of applause.
Well done, Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. Can I now call upon Navisha Leonard?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Navisha Leonard. When I was first recommended to go on the Leadership Masterclass, My initial reaction was, oh no, not another leadership course. What intrigued me was the concept that I had to apply and be accepted on this course, that I needed to motivate how I expected the course to change my life. Isn't that what the course facilitator was supposed to be doing, to be selling it to me? To my surprise, I was accepted. I guess I must have had some serious gaps in my leadership skills. To my further surprise, I realized that there were other women out there just like me. Women who experienced similar challenges, women who had the same questions that I had, women who had a yearning to overcome their hurdles, mostly within ourselves, to reach the top. I have advanced as a professional woman because of this LEMS course. The contribution compass made me realize which strengths I played to and which areas I needed to challenge myself a little bit more on. The changes that I can see within myself, I've set goals. I used to be very introverted. I'm still a little bit introverted, but I've learned how to network. I've learned how to build relationships. I've learned how to have tough conversations with people. I've learned how to celebrate my achievements. I realized that I actually enjoy being bolder. I'm more confident. I appreciate myself a little bit more. As women, we are taught to be modest about our achievements, but being on LEMS has shown me that it's quite all right to celebrate yourself, as long as you're not compromising your core values. I am ready to step up my career with the skills that I've learned on the LEMS course. I'd like to especially thank Usha, to thank SAICA, Taruna, Naeem, to thank RCL Foods for sponsoring me, as well as to all the other sponsors out there. This has been an amazing journey, and I've shared it with wonderful women. I'm sure every one of us has been enriched by this course. The one word that I would like to use to describe my journey: empowered. Thank you.
Thanks, Navisha. Well done. Congratulations. Well done. Congratulations. Thank you, Navisha. I'd now like to move on to Pravita Manilal. Pravita.
Hi everyone. When I applied for the LEMS course, I did not know what to expect. From session 1, I realized this is a course like no other that I had attended and was very solution driven. The contribution compass profiling system focuses on harnessing your natural energy and using your strengths to your advantages as opposed to your weaknesses. Previously in my teams, I would focus on improving their weaknesses. Now I allocate tasks based on their strengths, and this in turn encourages my staff. The goal-setting exercise from session 2 forced me to write down my goals and prioritize them based on challenges and dreams that I am chasing, as well as set strategies. Usha asked the right questions and provided simple tools to set goals with the time frame and strategies and actions. I have already taken simple steps and actions in both my career and personal goals. My company has also been engaging in more philanthropy. I highlighted important dates of each month to ensure we plan events and support the poor community. I also started a book club, book binge, to encourage me to read more. The personal branding session and writing my LinkedIn profile allowed me to reflect, look within, and for once acknowledge my achievements. I have never personally acknowledged my achievements. LEMS has made me be proud of my achievements, who I am, and what I do. I value who I am. I will constantly strive for the best and seek improvements, not only for my organization, but for myself. As females, we face different challenges to males and are often judged by both males and females by different standards. Those of you who have read Lean In and the Feminist Fight Club know what I am talking about. So to all the mansplainers, imitators, and those out there who do not support women, we the ladies of LEMS are not going anywhere. We have an unstoppable determination and drive to achieve our goals and to make a difference wherever we go because we support each other. Lastly, I would like to highlight personal changes in my life. Yes, I am a workaholic, but I am also changing. I now make an effort to take time for me. This year, I started swimming lessons. I entered the SAICA Amazing Race. Thank you, Tarana, for selling that. And have done the big walk, some yoga, and planning team building events for my staff. It has made me a more happier person. Thank you, Usha, SAICA, and all you wonderful ladies, and my special guest, Priscilla Munilal. A goal without a plan is just a wish. And as Tony Robbins said, setting goals is the first step to turning the invisible into the visible. Thank you, everyone. My one word to describe this course is purpose. It has driven me to find my purpose. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pravita. Fantastic. Well done, Pravita. Well done. Look, that's it first. Good look at that.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, well done. Thank you, Pravita. The next recipient is Lungile Nene, but she's not here today, so we will forward her certificate on to her. Can I now call upon Candy Raju? Candy?
Good morning, everyone. When I applied to be part of the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series, a new initiative being run by SAICA, I thought it would just be one more step to enhancing my career. Little did I know that it was going to be a giant leap in my personal development. LEMS has given me the opportunity to connect with so many amazing women and shown me that inside each and every one of us lies a Wonder Woman, just waiting to shine in all her glory. Too often do we humble ourselves to a level where we don't realize the greatness that lies within us. The most valuable lesson that I have learned on LEMS is self-celebration. Know your value, celebrate it, and never ever stop striving to improve it. This has been a life-changing experience for me, and I leave this course having grown both as a person and as a female chartered accountant. Thank you to SAICA and to Usha for empowering me, for making me realize that the best is yet to come if I just reach for it, for teaching me that greatness has no limits, and for showing me that being a woman in the profession is something to really be proud of. One word that I leave this course with, and it's more of a feeling and it ties into what Naeem has said earlier, it's accomplished. Thank you. For one more favor, will you and Naeem do a Wonder Woman pose with me? Naeem, you've got to join.
Wonder Woman?
You've got to join. Well, in your case, we'll call it the superhero pose. There you go. You lead us and we'll follow.
Okay, gotta show me this one.
And Naeem's going to do the pose. We'll let my secret out to everyone in the room.
Okay.
Hands on the hips, Naeem.
Well done, Jody. This is for you? Kelly? Fantastic. Superhero. Thank you, Candy. Can I now call upon Anasha Rambali?
Good morning, everyone. For me, this course has been a journey of making lifelong friends, learning new skills, and becoming more confident in myself and in my abilities. In session 1, when we started the contribution campus, I wasn't sure what to expect, having done quite a few other personality profiles. But having done the personality profile, I realized that it actually described me so aptly. Realistic, gentle and supportive nature, makes connections with others, drawn to routine, attention to detail. For everyone who knows me, it's pretty much me. For me, one of the biggest lessons was session 3 when we did the LinkedIn profile. So I've procrastinated for so many years on updating this profile, but I actually never got down to it. So here, Usha forced us to do it. And I was actually surprised at the results from it. I've had so many people connecting with me. I've appeared in so many searches. I've shared so many posts. I've had 200, 300, 400 people viewing my posts now. And it's just been so encouraging to actually push me to keep doing that. For everyone who knows me really well, reading is not one of my things, and I couldn't classify myself as a bookworm. But during this process, I walked into a bookstore, I bought Feminist Fight Club, and I'm happy to say I have started reading the book. I have not finished, but I'm on my way there. To Usha, thank you for your support and encouragement during this whole process, and for teaching me so many new things that I can apply in my personal and professional lives. To Runa, thank you for such a bubbly personality. When you walk in through the door at every session, it's so nice to have that welcoming smile, and for sharing so much about yourself with us that we didn't know previously. And to the ladies, it has truly been an absolute honor being part of this program with you, with all of you being so highly accomplished and talented, and also just being fellow CAs. I think we sort of missed that point along the way. We are all here to support each other, and I'm hoping in the years to come, we are all still there for each other and do keep in contact with all of us, with each other. My one word to describe the LEMS program would be confidence.
Again. Fantastic, well done.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Excellent.
Thanks, Ray. Before you go. Thanks. Thank you, Anasha. I'd now like to call upon Jennifer Reddy. Jennifer.
Good morning, lovely ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start with a quote from J.K. Rowling. We do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. We have the power to imagine better. Completing the journey of the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series has unleashed our power to succeed in all facets of our lives. It has made a real lasting and profound impact on my life, both as a professional and as an individual. LEMS has been instrumental to my transformation as a professional, allowing me to celebrate and acknowledge my achievements, and has ignited my ambition to achieve even more. LEMS has allowed us to focus on our personal reflections and build lasting relationships while doing so. Each session has pushed us out of our comfort zones and made us think out of the box. From the very first session where we learned about our own natural energies and why we react to things the way we do, through the contribution campus, to this, our last session, which has enabled many of us to overcome our fear of public speaking. In 6 short sessions, we have been given immeasurable tools to forge ahead and tackle any challenge that comes our way. From understanding the importance of goal setting, Usha, I completed mine, and developing the actions and strategies to ensure we achieve them. Understanding the importance of our personal branding and how to build our very own trusted relationships and networks. Each session has been invaluable. For me personally, LEMS has given me the emotional intelligence needed to be a great leader. It has rekindled my passion for reading, thank you, Pravita, and acquiring as much knowledge as I can. Thank you to SAICA, Naeem, and Taruna. And for Usha Miraj, thank you for this initiative. I am truly grateful for the opportunity to be on the pilot series. Usha, you have such a wealth of knowledge, and your generosity in sharing and developing each one of us is truly remarkable. Your calmness and can-do attitude is infectious, and you have been just the most amazing facilitator and mentor. Thank you for giving of your time and patience to impart your valuable knowledge on us all. In closing, I'd like to thank you, my amazing LEMS ladies. You have been such a valuable support system, and it is comforting to know that we share many challenges and are not alone on this journey. Together, we will forge ahead and achieve even greater heights. My one word to describe the LEMS would be limitless. We now have the tools to push all boundaries and have no limits. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. I'd now like to call upon Valencia Reddy. Valencia.
Good morning, everybody. Being on this LEMS course has been truly inspirational. When I first entered this course, I never thought I could change the person that I was. I'm actually standing here in front of a room of people that I'm actually talking without a little bit nervous, but not as bad as I was. And I really had a confidence issue. And being on LEMS course, the most inspiring thing was networking. Something that I never could do is because I never knew how to pick up a conversation. And thanks to Usha's helpful hints, it really did help. And also my personal branding. My non-existent LinkedIn profile is now fully existent, which I'm really thankful for to Usha. On this journey, I've learned how to improve myself and my confidence level. I realized it's not how you start off the race, it's how you complete it. And thank you to Usha, SAICA, and our sponsors for this remarkable course. It's a journey that is well traveled. And the one word that I would say that I've learned from this will be fulfilled. Thank you.
Excellent, Valencia. Well done. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. Thank you, Valencia, for sharing that with us. And I think so far from the speeches that what we're hearing, we can see in each one of us something has changed. And I think that is the intention of change, the transformation that we seek to achieve. I'd now like to call upon Sandeepa Sunandan. Sandeepa.
Thank you, Naeem, for the introduction. Like many of the remarkable women before me, I have always been driven to succeed. I excelled at school and put in the dedicated effort in my studies, knowing that one day all that hard work would pay off. Hopeful and ambitious, I walked into the corporate world and marveled at what the future possibilities might hold. Little did I know there were many challenges that lay ahead of me. I was soon to discover and experience the concept of the infamous glass ceiling. It was as early as my first week on the job that I experienced sexist behavior in the workplace. It was difficult for me to accept the truth about inequality between men and women in a work environment. However, instead of confronting those issues, I chose to be polite and began working twice as hard as my male counterparts for the same amount of recognition. WTH, right? Deep down, I knew I had to start taking steps to empower myself and other women in the process. The SAICA Leadership Evolution Masterclass has become my key to doing just that. Never before have I had a network of 20 successful women willingly and without reservation share so much of their own personal and career insights, challenges, support, knowledge, and advice. As unique as we all are, we shared experiences that are relatable and that we all can learn from. As part of the Contribution Compass assessment, we were identified by our individual personality profiles. I was identified as a catalyst, the innovator, the driver of change. I am still baffled at how a 30-minute questionnaire was able to give such deep and detailed introspection into who I really am. As silly as it sounds, in my quest for equal recognition, I became so focused on working so hard that I forgot what I was actually working towards in the first place. LEMS has forced me to relook at my goals and prioritize my values at a time when some major soul searching was needed. Now that I have revised my goal plan, I've printed it out and I've been making a conscious and concerted effort towards achieving these goals. I'm making a commitment to keep transforming and elevating to the next level, and I find myself wanting the same for other women. I sincerely believe that LEMS is the best SAICA initiative of recent times. Female CAs like myself need this platform to raise our concerns, air our views, empower each other, and build the confidence to speak up and be heard, because we are smart, we are educated, and we have a key role to play in the advancement of economies and societies. All we need is equal opportunities and the confidence to believe we can. My hope is for all the Wonder Women in this room to continue shattering glass ceilings and biased societal expectations. It has been an honor sharing this LEMS journey with all of you. My one word would be transformation, because of this rapid shift that I feel we all have experienced.
Thank you, Sandeepa. Last but not least, I'd like to now call upon Candice Smith. Candice Smith, as you would all know, makes this journey every month all the way from Newcastle to be with us. Thank you, Candice.
So when I first saw the invite to apply for LEMS, I was so excited. It was something that I was looking for, but it just was not available. And I'm so glad that I signed on. LEMS is not a theoretical lecture with a list of things that we have to do, but rather it's a practical application of each of these very important skills. Things I knew that were subconsciously there in the background, they were there. I knew them, but I had not put them into practice. LEMS has brought these issues to life, and brought them into focus, and made me pay attention to each one of these skills. Define goals, assess personality, build relationships. I know how important these things are, but I've never given them the adequate attention and emphasis. LEMS has forced each of us, even if it was on the last day, like many of us doing the homework, it made us do each of these very important things. One of the most important lessons that I've learned from LEMS is that it has taught me to help somebody else, rely on somebody else, learn from someone else, and grow with somebody else. Through those homeworks, through that sharing, we've all worked together and grown together. We often tend that we are on our own on each of these journeys, and that we have to be tough and do it all by ourselves. But rather, I've seen that we thrive when we have this tribe and support network that we've built here at LEMS. Each of us is far more alike than we are different. So thank you to SAICA and other sponsors for arranging this amazing workshop. Thank you to Usha for all your hard work and help personally. Thank you to the Contribution Compass for the insights into the personality types that we each are. And thank you to each of the ladies who've been on the series. If none of us had put that effort into being here, it would never have been the same. And then a final thank you to my husband and son who make the trip every month here to Durban, stay over and make the long trip back. It wouldn't have been possible if they didn't come with me. Thank you. And the one word that I would use to describe is inner strength. We don't have that inner strength, or we do, but we don't know it until we've been here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Candice, for your inspiring speech at the end. I think what has been shared today has been a lot of food for thought for those that haven't been on the course. It has been, to a certain degree, quite deep, and at times it was quite humorous as well. So we've had a spectrum of emotions, a spectrum of feelings that we are processing in our minds, and trying to determine what the next step is. You've got your goals, you know what you need to achieve, etc. So I think this is, as the word suggests, it is an evolution, and that evolution will be a continuing evolution. I'd now like to call upon Usha Maharaj to undertake the closing, and then apparently I'm supposed to do a final closing thereafter. So we'll do a first closing and then a second closing. Usha?
Thank you, thanks. Can I ask that all of you just give our graduates a huge round of applause? Well done, ladies. I am just so impressed with each and every one of you. Your journeys have been phenomenal. I've watched you from the start. I've reviewed homework. I've chatted to many of you personally. And what you've achieved and how you've transformed in such a short space of time has just been, it's been phenomenal. And if you keep that momentum going, what you are going to achieve in the months and years ahead is going to even amaze you. It'll blow you away. So set those goals, push yourselves really hard, and impress the people that you've brought along here today in terms of the rapid pace that your journey is going to take going forward. To all of you, I just want to say thank you for being a part of this, for being here to witness what each of these graduates have experienced, to be here to share and acknowledge their personal journeys. The Leadership Evolution Masterclass is a journey of transformation. And from each of the personal stories, we've seen that everyone's taken different lessons and have transformed differently. And that's exactly it. It's not a one-size-fits-all journey. It's a personal journey, which you've each taken the snippets that you needed at the right time in your life. And I just wish you absolute phenomenal success. This is not goodbye. The Leadership Circle will continue, Aziza. She's been reminding me every week we need to keep this going. So we will keep this going. And Naeem's got plans to keep it going even beyond that. So thank you, well done. We'll Wonder Woman at the end of this before we say our final goodbyes. There's psychology behind Wonder Woman. We don't just do it for fun. So with everything that we've done the psychology behind it. We've done from a brain-based, so I'm a brain-based coach, from a brain-based position, how is it shifting and changing you from the inside. And even though the lessons have been so simple, and they really have, we've kept it really simple to make it practical to implement, the results have been phenomenal. The results have been complex. The results have just been outstanding. So thank you to all of you for sharing the journey with us today. Well done to all of you for embracing the journey since we started in February this year. Give yourselves another huge round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Usha, for the wise words in closing and the final closing. The final closing. In the final closing, I'd just like to thank the participants in this program. Wish you all the best in your personal journeys, your professional journeys, and we look forward to connecting with you in the future. So please expect a phone call or an email from me. Please don't ignore it. But nevertheless, we would like to hear your journey. And when I say we would like to hear your journey, it means that we want to keep in touch with you. To our sponsors, BDO and Usha. Usha, our facilitator. Thank you to BDO. Sally, please, Bernice, if you can pass on our thanks to Sally for agreeing to sponsor this event. We really appreciate it. Thank you to Usha for your fantastic and wonderful words of wisdom. Your experiences, your sharing of your experiences, your wisdom once again. And as some of the delegates have mentioned, the golden nuggets. So I think your to-do list will be to write a book next. So Usha, you got a task. But nevertheless, I think also thanks goes to the support structures of our delegates today, the spouses, the children, the parents, etc. I think what was quite nice, what Candace mentioned, you're able to rely on others throughout this journey. And I think to have the support structure of your family, your co-workers, etc., it just makes a difference in life. It makes life a lot more easier. So thank you again to all those that have come to support your delegates, or rather your friends, children, spouses. We really appreciate you being here. And for all those nights that they have spent doing homework, it was not all in vain. It was for a reason. So thank you once again to everybody who had participated in this program. We really appreciate it. We look forward to connecting with you. Last but not least, and also final, thank you to Taruna for putting this together, for persevering. I think she has really outdone herself, her thoughts and her ideas. You have no idea the debates that we have had and the points of view as to how this should unfold and how this should happen, but finally they got their way. So to Taruna, thank you. We really appreciate all what you've done, and I think a really hearty round of applause for her. For your information also, she's blown the promo items, promo gifts budget, because every time it's like, we're having LEMS, you've got to give them something. I said, oh, okay. So thank you again, Taruna, for everything. Wishing you all the best. Look forward to seeing you again. In terms of the rest of the program for today, we've come to our end. Taruna, I'm only 10 minutes off the mark. We are going to do a group photo first, and then you will have the opportunity to take out individual photos. So Adam is around, so he'll do all the photos for us. But please, if I can ask you to come forward to take one group photo, please. When this program was initiated, and the intention was with regards to empowerment of female chartered accountants, to inverted commas break that proverbial glass ceiling. It was intended and focused on senior middle management female chartered accountants who needed that little bit of extra to crack the ceiling into senior executive. The program has effectively delivered from the graduation, from the speeches that have been given. It has definitely delivered on various different fronts. Most importantly, it appears to be a paradigm shift in thinking of the graduates, of the delegates that have attended this program. And most certainly we will be looking towards their journey and to see how they have transformed their journey. More importantly, we would like to see them succeed in their journey, both in their personal life as well as their professional life, and we wish them all the best. Now, in terms of the future of the program, we would seek to achieve something that has not been achieved before, in the sense that we need to take this program nationally to all the major centers across South Africa. Durban, Cape Town, Bloemfontein. It would be important from a transformation point of view, from a gender transformation point of view, to have this program run in all these different centers to deliver on female empowerment. I would also like to acknowledge Usha Muraj for her fantastic role that she has played as a facilitator, as a leadership coach, who has imparted and shared her experiences, her knowledge, practical experiences, as we have witnessed from the speeches and the testimonials that have been given by the graduates. She is definitely masterclass material and definitely recommended.
The Leadership Evolution Masterclass series is a phenomenal program. It was born out of a discussion with the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants Eastern Region, Naeem Asfat in particular, and really what we are looking at is how do we make a difference to the women CAs in the Eastern Region. And the Leadership Evolution Masterclass series was born. The objectives that SAICA Eastern Region were chasing matched perfectly the objectives that I was chasing. Having been in corporate for 16 years, having climbed the corporate ladder from a trainee accountant all the way up to a director within the Eastern Region as well, being the first black female director in the region, driving transformation initiatives internally, gender diversity, also being the HR director for the region, I understand and I know from personal experience exactly what the glass ceiling means to women like me, who are on the same journey, who are striving for similar goals. And my passion, having left corporate, is really just helping them. It's really helping them to see that whatever they want to achieve is possible, and then giving them the tools and the tips and the secrets, the hidden secrets, really the industry secrets on how to get it. And Leadership Evolution Masterclass series is exactly that. It's a series of sessions where we break down those massive fears into small, simple strategies, and then we allow them to learn it through practical application. And then we allow them to bond with the ladies on the group to create a network of like-minded, strong, fierce, fabulous, powerful women who are going to help each other to achieve those goals. And what we've seen at the end of the journey is a group of women who are just, who are phenomenal, who've walked into the room as, with fears, with their own barriers, with not knowing how to network, with low levels of self-confidence, without being able to speak up for themselves, without knowing who they truly were or what they were chasing, who didn't recognize their strengths, who didn't feel confident enough to put their personal brands out there, to at the end of the journey, a group of fabulous women who are completely confident, who would stand up in front of a room, who would speak about themselves, their strengths and their achievements, and who are not afraid to unlock opportunities in their careers and in their personal lives going forward. So I think we've achieved what we were aiming to achieve, and going forward, this program has to go national. It has to help women who are trying to overcome those same barriers, who want to get a seat around the boardroom table, who are feeling like they're just women in a male-dominated environment, who have issues with confidence and their own barriers that in terms of self-belief and self-awareness. Let's break all of those down. Let's get more women around the boardroom table. Let's get them into CFO and leadership positions, because that's where they belong. And if we've got diverse boardrooms, we're going to achieve a lot more in this country. The economy will benefit from it, companies will benefit from it, and certainly the women and their households and their husbands and their families will benefit from it. And that's what we hope to achieve through Leadership Evolution Masterclass series.